What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, and I'm here tonight with a review for Love and Hip Hop New York Season 9. I think this is episode 8 or 7. I don't know. It'll be right in my description and all that stuff. So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started with this video. Alright, y'all, so I've been going back and forth with how I want to start the video out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the heavy stuff and then just go into the fuck shit at the end of it. So I'm going to start out with rubbing pennies. So we see him, he is meeting up with his mama. And, you know, he sits down with his mama and he's telling her about the stuff that's going on with his daughter, Ashley's mama, Miracle. And we all remember Miracle from, what season was that when Ashley came on? I think it was that season when BBOD came on there. And he was doing a daddy daycare thing and whatnot. So the whole situation with Miracle is she shot her. I don't know if he's her ex-husband, but I would hope he's soon to be her ex-husband. But she shot her husband, and I'm like, God damn, she shot her husband. And you know, the main reason why Rich really found out about this is because his daughter Ashley, she's 19 years old. Ashley is in college, and you know, Ashley called her dad and told her, you know, her financial aid was in jeopardy because, you know, her mom and her stepdad, they filed taxes together. So with this whole situation with her mama shooting him, fuck, you know, her financial aid is in jeopardy. You know, if it wasn't paid, then, you know, she would have been, you know, dropped from her classes. Whoo, I had that happen once before. Non-payment, dropped from a motherfucking class. Had to go do an installment loan. Good God. So yeah, you know, so Rich's mom's whole thing is, you know, she wants Rich to bring Ashley up to New York with him. And, you know, basically, because what it is, we all know that Miracle is religious, and I get being religious and all, but damn, when you shoot a motherfucker, there ain't nothing that God can do for you. Sorry to say that, but it just really ain't much that God can do for you. You can pray to him all you want to, but when it comes down to it, the courts are going to do what the courts want to do. They're going to try you for whatever they want to try you for. If it's murder, attempted murder, you know, first degree murder, you know, aggravated assault with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Like, they're going to charge you with whatever the fuck they want to charge you with. And you just got to take whatever consequences you get. So, that's basically why his mama want her, you know, him to bring his daughter to New York with them, which I understand that absolutely. God, just to think about it, that woman shot her husband. Fuck, that is crazy. So then we see later on in the episode, Miracle and both Ashley are in New York, and Rich is having a conversation with both of them, and you know, they tell Ashley, you know, just to go off and do something by herself. So then Rich and Miracle step outside on the balcony and having a conversation. So Miracle does let Rich know that, you know, the charges has been dropped from, you know, murder, attempted murder to aggravated assault. But still, you're looking at possibly facing some jail time. And, you know, she's talking about she's going to go to the court and she's going to take look into a plea. Plea deals are no better than, you know, if you go to trial. And, you know, when she was talking about that, Rich was telling her, you know what, instead of, you know, doing the court's way of giving you a plea deal, is so that they don't have to, you know, spend any money into going to a trial and fighting for it. So Rich is basically telling her, you know what, you need to fight for this. And, you know, I got your back. So then they go inside and they have a conversation with Ashley. And I don't know if they mentioned this earlier or if they mentioned it then. But we found out that Ashley, when her mama shot her husband, Ashley is the one that drove the man to the hospital. I'm like, well, god damn. So you got a bleeding man in the car with you. Oh, God forbid if he had died in the car with that girl, she would have been traumatized for life. Like, God, like y'all. Oh, I'm gonna leave it at that. So, you know, her mama sits her down and she starts talking to her and she tells her everything that's going on. And Ashley just breaks down, and I feel bad for him. Like, this is a 19-year-old girl who's in college, who's trying to do something good with her life, and then her mama fucks up her life, and you know, now they all have to live with the choices that she made. And it's crazy as fuck. Rich is blaming himself. Her mama's blaming herself. Ashley trying to, make her mama feel better. But damn, that's crazy as fuck. All right, y'all. So next we see Joe. Joe goes to visit Dr. Jen. And if you guys didn't watch that show, I think it was Couples Therapy with Dr. Jen, where he and Tahiri went on there a few years ago. And, he's sitting down with Dr. Jen, and he's basically telling Dr. Jen since he last saw her that, he's worked on a lot of stuff in his life. He's telling her about his relationship with Sin. They had the baby. And then I didn't really watch Couples Therapy with Dr. Jen, but I do know a little bit about it. He was talking about his son, his relationship with his baby's mama and his son, how he didn't really have a relationship with his son. So he's telling her that this relationship with, Sin and their baby, Lexington, is, kind of a fresh start for him. And then, he's telling her about everything that's been going on between him and Sin with their relationship, with her having a postpartum depression. And, he's talking about how he wants Sin to sit down with Dr. Jen. So she was like, well, do you think she'll be comfortable coming and sit down with me? So he says, we'll see. So he actually has Sin somewhere out in the lobby, I guess. So then we see Sin go into the office with Dr. Jen. And, she sits down and talks to Dr. Jen. And Joe lets he leaves, leaving Sin and Dr. Jen in there to talk to one another. So, Sin is talking about, everything that's going on with her. She's talking about how she's a young mother and she, her feelings about being a young mother. She also talked about, the fact that, excuse me, when it comes to her and Joe wanting to go out, Joe wants her to get a nanny, but Sin is fearful, which I got that last week because, like I said last week, when it comes to the crazy people in this world, you just don't know who the fuck you can trust because, people do all kind of stupid and weird shit to kids these days. They molest them, they rape them, they beat them, they beat them, they starve them, they do all kind of crazy, weird, stupid shit to kids for no fucking reason because kids cannot defend themselves against an adult. So I definitely got where Sin was coming from with that. So then Sin talked about her mom. When she was a kid, her mom worked 20 hours a day, and with her working 20 hours a day, Sin was with different people. And then Sin breaks down and, says that she's telling Dr. Jen something that, her mom doesn't know. There's so few people who know it. Joey knows it, but, it's a lot of other people who just doesn't know. So then, Dr. Jen gets her to open up to her. And Dr. Jen, when she opens up to her, she's talking about, by you holding this in, you are still a victim to whoever did whatever to you. So then Sin opens up and says that when she was 5 years old, she was molested, raped by a woman. And, she just breaks down. So that is, it gives us big insight into why Sin feels the way she feels about, leaving her baby with a nanny or anybody that she doesn't know or doesn't trust. But, because she also said that when it comes down to letting people change his diaper, she doesn't do that. I really do feel bad for Sin. Like, to find out that she was raped and molested at 5 years old is crazy. Like I said, again, crazy people in this world do stupid shit to kids who cannot defend themselves. And oftentimes they are fearful to open up and tell people what's happening to them, with shame, guilt, all that stigma and whatnot. But I'm glad that Sin opened up and said what happened to her. And then later in the episode, we see Sin and Joe. They go out to dinner with Remy and Pap. So, Joe, he tells us that he had planned a dinner, for he and Sin to, have a night together. He left the baby with Sin's mom, and that night that he planned for them, it didn't go the way he planned it to go because Sin, she came home, she was dressed up, and she went out with her girls to the club and left him there by himself. And then when she came back home, Joe was in the bed asleep. And basically what it was he was planning a night for just those two to have sex with each other. And, Remy was like, it's both of y'all's fault. Because when I said what I said, it was for, her to, let somebody help the baby. You two go out on a date with one another, and then maybe come back home and bump uglies. But and then Pap chimes in and says, you know what, I think you two need to get married to one another. And I definitely agree with what Pap said. But when it comes to Sin and Joe, they need to work through some of their issues before they can actually say, hey, let's get married, which we all know that Sin and Joe are currently engaged. And then last week on IG, she changed her name to Sin Santana Button, which I don't think they've gotten married yet because Mona needs that check to clear for them to get married and have that wedding on VH1. But I did like that I like that scene with Sin and Dr. Jen. So I really hope Sin can work through all the issues that she has, and Joe be there to support his woman. All right, y'all. So next we had this scene with Yandy. So after last week's episode, when Yandy had to tell Infinity that she was gonna take her back to her foster home, Yandy reached out to Infinity's lawyer, and the lawyer told her that they could get, what did she say? I forgot. My bad, y'all. They can have an emergency hearing. So when they went to the emergency hearing, the judge told them that Infinity can stay with Yandy until she gets the training, the certification to be a foster mother. So then Yandy takes Infinity back to her home, and she's letting Infinity know that there are going to be rules that she has to follow, and she's going to have chores and whatnot. And yeah, like I said, Infinity can stay with Yandy while she goes through this process of becoming a foster mother. So then we see Yandy. She is going to meet up with her mother-in-law, Judy, with these fucked up, the hellified, fucked up edges with this fucked up wig on her head. Her wig does look better than Pam's from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but the wig nonetheless still looks horrible on Judy's fucking head. So, Yandy is telling Judy everything about Infinity, how, she met her through her mentoring program, and she said one day that Infinity called her, told her she was gonna run away. And Judy's whole thing is, she saw this girl's stuff on Instagram, and talking about it looks like she lives a good life. Now I'm like, Judy, how the fuck do you know what kind of life this girl lives? Like, people put shit on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, put shit on there all the time that ain't necessarily 100% true. But they want people to believe that they live this grand life. Like, I know a lot of people in my personal life, on Facebook, on IG, on Twitter, who talk about what they do, talk about what they got, and I'm like, some of them I know very, very well in my personal life, and I'm like, but you be the same one struggling, asking to borrow money for gas, asking to borrow money for this and this and that. So what you see on social media is not always 100% truth or 100% of an accurate. It's not 100% true, and it's not 100% true representation of what that person is actually living. So for Judy to sit there and say that this girl lives a good life, I'm like, Judy, you don't know that. And then Judy is talking about she's concerned about her grandkids, and Yandy's like, but they my kids, and I'm not gonna put my kids in any kind of harm's way. Like, I was kind of annoyed with Judy, to be quite honest with you, but I'm always annoyed when it comes to Judy. Thank God we don't have to see Judy and Kim fight with one another this season, because I was not going to be able to take another season of the lesbian, the stud, and the film. Or is it the stud? Or, yeah, wait, whatever. We know Kim is a stud, but it's like Kim and Judy need to just fuck each other to get their aggression out. Like, that's just how I feel when it comes to those two. All right. So then we had this scene where Yandy, she met up with Infinity's biological mother, and she just wanted to get her mother's permission to be her foster mother, and she wants to learn a little bit more about the dynamic between her and her mom and whatnot. And they sit down, and her, Infinity's mom off the bat talks about what a good child Infinity is. And like I said, Yandy wanted Infinity's mom's blessing, And she tells her, basically she wants what's best for her daughter and what makes her daughter happy. And she wants her daughter to be where she wants to be. But then, like I said, Yandy wanted to know a little bit more about Infinity and her mother and her being in the foster care system. So Yandy says that Infinity told her that, she's been in and out of foster care since she was a kid. And, Infinity's mom was like, that's not true. She hasn't been in and out of the foster care since she was a kid. This has happened just when she was, after she turned into a teenager, because, she started running away. She started coming in late at night at 2:00 in the morning. And, then she was like, I don't know if she said a year or two ago, someone called CPS on her and said that she was abusing her kids. And that's kind of how she lost her kids. But she says that, she didn't lose her kids to the system. What happened was she asked her mother to take her kids, and she did. But she says her mother has strict rules, and Infinity didn't want to follow by those rules. So Infinity then decided to run away. So now Yandy's looking like, well, damn, you telling me this, but Infinity is telling me something completely different. So it's like, what's the fucking truth? And so then we see this scene where Yandy, she is looking, I guess this is after she had met with Infinity's mama. So she tells us, because we see the cameras, and we see Yandy telling the cameras to back up. This is personal, like, give me some space and whatnot. And basically what it is, so Yandy's assistant says that she, Infinity got a phone call, and whatever the phone call was, she just hopped out the car and ran away. So Yandy is frantic at this point, and she's on the phone with her assistant, and she's like, what, let me call you back because she's right here in front of me. So then, Infinity comes up to Yandy, and she's like, when were you gonna tell me that you met with my mama? And Yandy's like, you don't think I need to meet with the woman that gave birth to you to, get her permission, get her okay, her approval to be your foster mother? So then, they were just going back and forth about, this and that. And, Yandy was like, she said good things about you. She's part of the reason why, you're this person that you are today. And in a nutshell, Infinity is like, no. She ain't got nothing to do with that. Like, I would come home, my mama would be drunk. Did she say high? And laid up with men. I'm assuming she was high. And, I can't say I understand where she's coming from with the drunk and the high and all, the drunk and laying up with men. Because my mom never did that. My mom never even had a man around me. Or has she? Well, she did have one. Ew. She did have one guy friend that I knew. Wait a minute. Ugh. Oh, God, I hope there was nothing going on between. Oh, God. Oh, the more I think about it, I called him Uncle Willie. Oh, good God. Uncle Willie. Ugh. Oh, we're going to move on. Because I just repulsed myself. Maybe nothing happened between him and my mama because I was always with them for the most part. We're just going to put that in my head. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but, So, basically, in the end of it, Yandy just wants Infinity to do better for herself, which I definitely agree with that. You're a teenage girl. You don't need to be running away. You don't need to be coming in and out at all times of the night. Like, that's crazy to me because I didn't even get to come and go as I please until I turned 18. And even still, at 18, I still have to, my mom be like, where you been, who you with, and what time you coming home. Even I will come home at 2 and 3 in the morning. But, 18 years old, but she's not 18. All right, you guys. And then the bullshit of the episode. We got Sydney Star meeting up with Jonathan. So, Sydney Star tells us that she met Jonathan a year or so ago when she was in DC. And they hit it off and they've been cool since. So, she's telling Jonathan how things have been going since she's been in New York, how she's been crying and whatnot, how she's working with Rich. Rich told her music is trash as fuck, which Rich ain't lying to you, girl. Your music is trash as fuck. And, she gets on the bar. She started spitting out this rap for Jonathan. I'm like, oh, Jonathan, why did you ask her to do that? Like, we're tired of hearing Sydney rap. It's horrible. It's trash. it belongs in the trash, to be quite honest with you. So, wait a minute. She had the nerve to say that she wants to be as big as Cardi B. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When Cardi B was on Love and Hip Hop New York, and she was talking about doing music, I didn't take Cardi B seriously. But now, I love Cardi B's music. Even though she might not write her music, whoever does her music write her music for her, she knows how to, spit that shit. Sydney Starr, on the other hand, is a different story. Even if somebody wrote the music for her, she still would sound trash as fuck. Let's just be honest. So then, Sydney tells Jonathan how she worked with Nia Lee. And, he says, oh, you mentioned Nia Lee. Well, she used to be a stripper back when I was working in the clubs, doing makeup. And she's a model for my, this master class that he's having. And then he invites Sydney to the master class. And I'm like, oh, so this is how the bush is going to happen. Great. So we get to Jonathan's master class. He is doing Nia's makeup. And I'm sitting there looking at Nia's makeup. I'm like, good goddamn, her face is masculine as fuck. Especially with that makeup. It just made her look more it made her face look even more masculine. So then Sydney shows up in this outfit. And, the dress, it wasn't nothing really wrong with that dress except for on the side where it had those little shoestring like things. And it just looked like it was cutting off all the circulation to her motherfucking legs. And I'm like, you should have burned that dress. Oh, God. So, then Sydney, Nia Lee, like, that's not my dress. And, she's like, no, I have to change up my style. And I'm like, change it up to what? Stripper, prostitute style? I'm just saying. So, then she and Nia kind of get into it a little bit. And then, Sydney on the other side of the table jumping at her. And, Nia's like, wait a minute, bitch. You don't need to be jumping at me like that. You don't need to be getting bucked with me. Like, chill the fuck out. Because if you do it one more time, I'm going to come across the table and I'm going to knock your ass the fuck out. And, Jonathan kind of calms them down. And then Nia is like, you know what? Since this bitch want to get bucked with me, I'm going to walk the fuck out before I whoop this bitch ass. And basically, that was the episode. So, like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later. I won't see you guys again until Wednesday for Black Ink Crew Chicago and Love and Hip Hop Miami. Later.